everybody, and welcome back to Odin's movie blog. I am the critic who is a cynic. How is everyone doing this evening? Happy Saturday to everyone. Hope everyone's weekend is going swimmingly. Mine has been rather productive, at least in the morning. Got a crib finally made for baby Thor. Also was able to finish getting all of the boxes from all the furniture that we've been building out of the house, which was, of course, very, very nice. Was able to go over to the post office, and there were a couple of big packages there for me. One of which is from Mr. Peabody from Australia, and the other of which is from our man Bruce, which came in around 4 pounds, 10 ounces or so, based on what the woman told me there. And so one of the first things we'll be doing tonight is indeed opening up those boxes, opening up those gifts before getting into any other topics. Also, of course, giving a Blu-ray collection update because I have indeed gotten some Criterion Collection Blu-rays that were recommended to me as both a part of the preservation project and also because of the fact that they were good deals and they were Akira Kurosawa, and everyone was like, how have you not owned any of these movies yet? And a couple other random films thrown in the mix as well. But before we get into opening up anything, let's just say hello to everyone who is in the chat. So let's start off with YouTube, where we got Tina B in the chat. What's going on, Tina? G-Monkey76 is here. Tina Bojan is here. Bruce, who's a member on the channel. Thank you, Bruce, once again for sending me the very large package. Can't wait to see what is inside. Thenotos Felicitas, what's going on? 16-bit mascots here. Latino Slant, who is a member. Welcome back. Glad to see you here. Stephanie B, welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad to see you here. So we've got both the Empress of the Universe in Tina and my General of the Valkyrie, Stephanie B. Glad to see both of them here. Cobra Vimer 999's in the chat. Mr. Peabody, another member on the channel, and again, someone else who sent me a gift via the P.O. Box. Thank you very much, man. That will be opened up in just a minute. Andrew Hoyle, who's a member on the channel. Welcome, good sir. Glad to see you here. Slicer Neons is here as well. Soul Assassin is in the chat. Fraz, what's going on, Fraz? Glad to see you here. Jay Stowe is a member on the channel. What's going on, good sir? Says, yo, Odin, what's up? We'll be sending some codes your way. Thank you very much, good sir. Jay Stowe is the keeper of the codes and is the one who essentially funds all of the digital code blitzes that I do for my Patreon and Subscribestar giveaways. If you want more information, check out the links to Patreon and Subscribestar in the chat. Let us see who else is in here. What's going on? Thenotos Felicitas, what's going on? Again, glad to see you here. Says, what hammer did you use to make the crib? No hammers were needed in that. Just some funky little screwdrivers and fun stuff like that. Forget the name of it, but yeah. Tina B says, remember, if you want Odin to see your comment, put Odin question. Yes, indeed. And tonight's chat's going to be a little bit wonky because I will be opening up packages and stuff like that. So I think I'm going to try and keep it relatively on the live chat, at least for a little bit. And so I might not get to every comment or every question. So if your comment does get skipped because of the unboxing, etc., again, I am sorry, but again, that kind of is the nature of unboxing, because if I let the chat just sit, I'm going to fall way too far behind, and it's just going to be crazy, and I can't handle that tonight because of all the nonsense that I've been dealing with recently, because also this coming week, school starts. So we have orientation for each grade level, and then our first day is on Friday, and that, of course, has me, in a state of not panic, but just, anxiety flaring up. G-Mega76 says, don't open it! Well, too bad, because I am. By the way, I do need to shout out some people. GMC Comics Limited, thanks for subscribing to the channel. Larry has been a member for 3 months now on the channel. Thank you very much. Kid Cassidy has just become a member. This was 4 days ago. Andrew Hoyle as well. Thank you so very much. Gigi Lizzie, who's a member on the channel, newer member on the channel. Thank you very much for being here this evening. Glad to see you here. Aiden Vickery, what's going on? Another member on the channel. Orange Hat Reviews, another member on the channel. Glad to see you here as well. Ben V is asking a question already. What do I think and hoping to see in Mandalorian Season 2? Some better writing, more consistent writing. I think that it was a little too haphazard, which is why the overall series episode, or rather Season 1, was a C for me. Kind of like a C minus, because it just wasn't consistently good. Tina says, so the crib's not IKEA then? Not that I'm aware of, no. Nathan Slay, hey, yo, what's up? What's going on, Nathan Slay? How is it going? Steady says, no worries, we will cover it. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Keely Chow, glad to see you in the chat. Nathan Slay, what do you think of the best action movie? I think it's Die Hard. Once again, people are coming in with questions already. It's like, this is not open forum. This is not open forum. This is not just let's ask everything. I'm trying to get through all of this so I can start opening up packages. And so I'm just going to go, again, great action film. Super Anime Gamer. Hey, what's up, my dude? What's going on? Large Leaf, what's going on? Glad to see you in the chat. Thank you so much for being here. Jumping over to D-Lab, we got Admin the Clan. What's going on, D-Lab fam? Dean Heiss celebrating a 0-month sub streak. I've never seen that ever put in the D-Live chat, so that's interesting. That's a D, that's a 0. But anyway, Captain Dean Heiss, thank you for being one of my captains. Peabody says, yep, only took the package 4 weeks to get there, but it has been on holiday in New York since the 13th. Yes, we all know it got stuck in New York. Captain Dean Heiss says, sitting here rocking my Duck Fisney t-shirt. Boom, Captain Dean Heiss, thank you very much for supporting our boy Randy Darkstar57 with the hashtag Duck Fisney shirt. It is pretty damn awesome. All right, so with everyone's comments now out of the way, let's go ahead and get started off with, the first one, which is going to be the smallest one. This is actually from someone where I don't actually know who it's from. They told me in a recent stream, but as you all know, my memory is terrible. And I believe it was sent from a separate company that is not normally. So on Amazon, when you send something, normally you can put a little gift receipt and then it says, hey, here's my message and here's where it's from. So all I know is that this is coming from the Movies and More store. So if that is this person's own company, then shout out to them. But I now have my own edition of the 20th Century Fox, old school 20th Century Fox logo here of Tora, which I know is going to make Tina very much excited to see that, because she says that this is one of the best renditions of, or rather one of the best movies dealing specifically with the attack on Pearl Harbor, because it uses all practical effects and it just looks very good on the screen. Riff Magos, what's going on, man? And so, so I forgot who sent this to me, but whoever you are, thank you very much for sending it my way. You said that you were. You said you didn't know if it'd be here by the weekend, but it is indeed here. So thank you very much for sending it my way. So that's the first one. Again, very, very small, but still. It's a film that I know Tina has been wanting me to see for a very long time now. All right, let's go ahead and get started, because the big monstrosity that Bruce sent me, I don't even know what's going to happen with that one. So let's go ahead and get to the Mr. Peabody opening. Now, for those that have not been on these streams before, it's been a long time since we've had a Mr. Peabody box opening. Mr. Peabody lives in Western Australia. He lives in the Perth area of Western Australia, and which means right now he's about 12 hours ahead. So it's around 7:07 a.m. So it's very early in the morning where he is right now. And every now and then he'll put a little care package together. He's always very thoughtful with what he puts in. He likes to put things in there that will surprise me and to see my reaction on screen and such like that. So thank you very much, man, for sending it my way. I, of course, don't want to, give up your name or anything like that. But as you can see, again, pretty, international posting, to say the least. The pack and what's going on. I see that name in here. Lord Toth, I see you in here spamming with that nasty pizza, beer, pineapple combination. So anyway, I got that chat live up right now, and I'll try and keep up with it as best as I possibly can. But anyway, I love how he always has to have a description of the goods on here too. Because it kind of gives me a little bit of a precursor of what's actually in here, but I'll try not to read too much into that. So let's go ahead and get this package opened up. So, you of course wanted me, and this is the reason why I can see why River is very much interested in this product. She's like, I want this. And that's because there's, of course, food in here, which I figure would probably get through and go through some damage. And, oh no, it looks like something may have leaked. Oh no, something may have been damaged in the process. Something may have been damaged in the process, Peabody. And that's what happens sometimes, because these things, will fall. Oh no, yeah, there's some damage to this. So anyway, first off, he sent me a Cadbury Dairy Milk Black Forest chocolate There is a cut open there, so hopefully it's still good. It says dairy milk chocolate with cherry flavored jellies and biscuit pieces. So I think that might be something that the wife, that Freya, might be enjoying, because I don't like fruit stuff in my chocolate. I like pure, unadulterated chocolate. Anything that adds chocolate is just an abomination in my mind. So yeah, Peabody, I figured that you had to put one on custom. So, but anyway, it looks like some of the stuff may have actually leaked in the process. So we got also some malt teasers, the lighter way to enjoy chocolate. So this looks like some more Australian candy. So malt teasers right there. I do like some malted milk balls is what we call them here. Some malt teasers. So I'll put that over there because that's something that I can definitely enjoy. That's something that I'm definitely a huge fan of. Odin is chocolate racist, says Adam. Yeah, of course. Of course I am. That's the way it goes. So we got 2 packages of the malt teasers. And then this is the thing I don't know what it is, and it's like, is it out? Oh yeah. Oh Lord. So this is what leaked in it. It's called Redskins. Very offensive of you. It contains milk, but as you can see, it has kind of disintegrated. I imagine it was in some heat, and it could not survive the heat. And so I do have the Redskins candy, but as you can see, it has not survived it. Sadly enough. So far, the Maltesers are intact. The Cadbury milk chocolate and the Redskins are not doing so well. Not the football team, remember, because they're no longer the Redskins, because you can't say that anymore. You can't say that anymore. So Adam says they are delicious. Well, I hope they are, even if they are melted and gooey. And I don't know. I'll have to kind of think about whether I want to actually eat it or not, just because, like, yeah, I'm kind of weird about that kind of stuff when it gets melted and stuff. But again, that's something that's beyond Peabody's control. It's beyond anyone's control when sending things, especially when it's food related in chocolate, because obviously the post office, they don't care about whether or not it's protected. Oh, speaking of protected, so here's another Redskin that is melded now onto the CD that was sent to me. And to no surprise here, it is the singles, 1984 to 2004, from the band a-ha. Of course, Peabody, a huge fan of the band a-ha, so sending me my own copy, my own CD of that, which, of course, is now covered in the Redskins candy. Oh, man. And I'm sad because there's a note attached to it as well, but the candy is kind of making it hard to get to. So anyway, there is a note in here. If I can get I'm gonna have to throw this one away because this one's just too damaged. So he says, I know this might not be your music, but at least give track 12 a go and feel free to give it away. It's the band I love and wanted to share. Well, thank you very much. I know that you're a huge fan of a-ha, so thank you very much for it. I don't know if I'll be able to give it away because now it's literally falling. There was damage done to it because of the because of the broken up Redskins candy that has blown up. So I'll have to keep this up here because if I put it in my trash can, River will have a field day with that. And I don't think it's safe for puppies. But thank you very much for the a-ha CD, man. Appreciate it. I needed some Norwegian music, he said. Yes, indeed. Yeah, it looks like part of the CD's actually already popped off because of the Redskins. So ridiculous. Jen Jurgensen, what's going on, man? Glad to see you here in the chat. Venom Broly tag. Finished Ghost of Tsushima. Hope you enjoyed it, good sir. Again, I'm not really reading the comments right now because I'm opening up some packages. And the last thing in the Mr. Peabody package, finally in my hands, a film by Peter Weir, starring Mel Gibson and Mark Lee. And that's Gallipoli. I think that's the correct pronunciation for once. Because I always look at it and like to say Gallipoli, when in reality I believe it's Gallipoli. So Gallipoli, thank you very much. Needed this one. Thank you so very much for getting this sent my way, Mr. Peabody. Really do appreciate it. So let me see if I can safely stash a couple of these items away. I'll put the CD and DVD in there. I'll have to put the chocolate on the side for now because that could do some damage. So I'm sorry, Peabody, your package got damaged in transport. But thank you very much for sending it my way nonetheless. So thank you very much, man. Lord, Peabody says, yeah, right pronunciation. That's what I thought. Adam says, it's okay to eat the red skin. It's yummy. One of them, it's too much. There's another where I might at least try it. But it got destroyed in the transfer process. Lord Toad says, isn't that also what she said finally in my... I don't know what you're trying to do there, but I don't appreciate it. Jen Jurgens says, do you enjoy a glass of alcohol once in a while? No, I'm straight edge. I am a straight edge dude, so I do not drink alcohol at all. Tina says, it's Gallipoli. Oh, I've heard it after listening to The Splendid and the Vile and the Churchill movie with Gary Oldman. That's what I figured. Lord Toth then just says, hands? Hands? I don't even know what you mean by hands. And then says, same thing happened when he sent them to me. Yeah, probably got caught in the heat at some point and then just, got destroyed. Nathan Slay, no, man, I still got a whole other package to open up, man. So chill out, bro. Chill out, Nathan. I'll get to it. If you really want to ask a question, I mean, the only thing that forces my hands to ask and to answer them right away are super chats and donations via Streamlabs. But as far as the general the general way things go, I'll let you know when we're back to the normal way of doing things. But I've got a 4-pound package here from Bruce that I've also got to open up. But Canceled Venom, thank you very much for the Canadian $2 super chat. Said, Odin is a NyQuil Asgardian. What does that even mean? What does that even mean, that I'm a NyQuil Asgardian? As waiting for neutrality context alcohol, just read an article that there is no healthy level of drinking. All alcohol is poison to your body. There are no healthy side effects. I feel lied to. Yeah, I feel like that changes every day, though. Like, I feel like every day there's a new study that says, hey, this is actually kind of good for you. And another word says, this is kind of, good for you, right? A glass of wine is perfectly fine, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it just, I don't believe any of it. I think it's all hooey, which is why I just avoid it altogether, because then I don't have to worry about any of that stuff possibly being, anything. Slash of Neon says, straight edge dudes unite. Indeed. Awesome being straight edge. All right, let me go ahead and get to this massive package here from Bruce. Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lanza. So anyway, this is my package from Bruce. So again, nice 4-pound package. He put stickers of the channel all over it as well. So that way I would know that it was mine. As Lord Toth is a member, only one glass of wine, pshaw. Several are better for you. I would very much doubt that. Cancel Venom says, can someone clip Odin saying, this is my massive package, please? I'm sure someone will end up doing that. As Bruce is, of course, laughing about it. So let me go ahead and get Mr. Stabby out. Oh, yeah, that should make people feel happy. Oh. That's how it's so funny because I use this same one, not just to open packages, but also to open up just like the little Blu-ray plastics as well. I use Mr. Stabby to take care of that as well. It's very effective. It's very, very effective. Nathan Slay can be patient. Good to hear. Good to hear. River, you don't want to be near this one. River's like, oh, this looks interesting. This looks like another package that I want to have access to. It's like, you don't want to hurt yourself now. All right. All right, this looks like a multi-layered one. So let me try and see if I can make some room, but also be able to speak into the microphone correctly, because Lord knows that is just, Adam says today is Buddy's 14th birthday. Happy birthday, Buddy. Peabody says, what a bummer, waited 4 weeks for you to receive a package that imploded. Dude, it's all good, man. It happens. Seriously, though, thank you very much for Gallipoli, because that is definitely a film that has been recommended several times over. Always pronunciation issues whenever I'm trying to pronounce it. So thank you for that. I'm going to try out the chocolate a little bit, but as you know, as I said, I don't like when things are inside my chocolate. My wife might be interested in that. We'll see. And then I might try a little bit. Definitely will be trying the Maltesers, though, because I do like some malted milk balls. So thank you very much for sending me some Australian Maltesers there, because those are usually pretty good. As Wafer Nerdrotic says, it's all hooey. The biography of the critic who is a cynic. It's all hooey, I say. All right. So there is something on top. I'm assuming that there's something inside. So this is what's on top. Unlabeled. Nothing there. There's no letters on top of it, which means I'm assuming that I have to open this first. He said it's a cover. Okay. Literally, it's an empty cover. Man, Bruce, going for that dramatic effect. Going for that dramatic effect, Bruce, I see. I'm trying to find a safe place to put it, because Lord knows that my dogs will try and find it. All right, so here is the letter. Here is the letter. So note how it's in an envelope, but it's also out of the envelope as well. The package design on this one is... There's a little paper clip, too, to make sure it doesn't fall out. You can fold it, and that will make sure it stays in the envelope. I don't know if you knew that or not. Captain Darkstar, what's going on, man? But anyway. So let's see what we got going on here. I'm assuming I need to read... Hi, Odin. It says, yes, you can read this on screen if you wish. Well, I indeed will. All right, this is from Bruce. These are movies I've either upgraded to the newest release of, or are ones I do not see myself watching again. Some titles you will recognize as ones you've talked about while on air before. I'm not going to read the ones, just that way it can be more of a surprise. Pick from the box whichever movies you deem worthy of being in your own personal collection and give others away during your live streams. If any title fails to meet either of those two options, then just donate them to Goodwill or something. I'll leave that up to your best judgment. Bruce. Thank you very much, Bruce, for sending me a package of films you don't want anymore. I see how it is. But seriously, man, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And I imagine that there's probably be some films in here that I will definitely want to be giving away. And then he also says, P.S. Here is something to aid with the shipping of the giveaway movies, and with any balance left over, buy something for Freya, maybe a couple of new chew toys for the pups, or just add it to the movie preservation fund. All right? So I'm assuming that's something that's happening later. I don't know. But yes. So you're killing me, Bruce. With all this packaging. Look at all this paper. Look at all this paper we got here. I got no place to put all this paper, man. Could have saved a tree with this paper. And River's very interested in all this paper. All right. So let's see. All right. So once again, I don't know if this is just a cover or if there's something in here. It's just a cover. Okay. So confusing. Oh my goodness. The packaging on this, Bruce. So confusing. You're killing me, Smalls. I'm assuming that this is also empty. I'm assuming. I'm just going to assume all of these are empty. Oh, if that turns out not to be true, let me know, and I'll go ahead and look into it. But man, oh my goodness, I did it again. Bruce, you're killing me. You're killing me. Ugh. I need to find a way to shove all this stuff out of the way. There we go. All the paper's now out of the way. In the white envelope, Bruce says. Okay, so there is something in the white envelope. Oh, dude. Wow. Thank you so much, man. Thank you, man. Well, now I understand why the envelope was there. So Bruce just dropped a crisp $100 super chat. Bruce, thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. That's a $100 bill. Thank you, Bruce. I really do appreciate that, man. You freaking rock. Thank you, man. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't throw away the white envelope. That could have been problematic to say the least. So, but anyway, here are all the movies that have been sent to me in this 4-pound box. So we're gonna have plenty of films. Some of these are gonna be films I either own, that I don't own, that could be giveaways in the future. Speaking of that, let me just move this out of the way. Oh, so that way, for any ones that are potential giveaways, I do have a giveaway stack right there. So the first one is a film that I don't own. So this is a film that I at the very least will probably back up, and that is the Blu-ray of The Commuter, starring Liam Neeson. So thank you very much for that. That's actually a movie that I've never seen before, so definitely will be wanting to see that film. So I'm going to put it over here in this pile because gotta love me some Liam Neeson. The next one is, in all honesty, probably the best movie of all time. Like one of the best films that's ever been made. It is this generation's version of The Room. Captain Dean High says, give the paper to the guy under your desk. No, I will not. The guy under my desk can just stay alone. But this is indeed this decade's version of The Room, and that is the Blu-ray of The Fanatic. This will definitely be a giveaway. I already own The Fanatic. I love it to death. It's freaking hysterical. It's so bad, it's funny. I can't believe you didn't want to keep this for your own collection, Bruce. I can't believe it. But yeah, that will definitely be a giveaway title for sure because it's awesome. So put that in the giveaway pile. All right, let's see here. This is one that might actually be one that Freya could be a very big fan of, and this is a documentary as told by Morgan Freeman. And it is a Blu-ray of The March of the Penguins. Yes, so The March of the Penguins right there. So thank you very much for that. It's one I've never seen before. At least I don't think I've ever seen it before. I know Freya, though, will be a very happy camper with that one because she does love documentaries. If she's never seen it before, if not, she might be willing to watch it again. And this is another film where I've seen the movie, and I don't think I own it. So this one I will probably keep in my collection, but I think it is actually a really great film, and it's about something that I think gets very little attention, even in the modern day world. You know, whenever you hear about, obviously, 9/11, there's one thing that comes to mind. One other thing that does not come to mind is the attack on the embassy in Benghazi under the leadership of Barack Obama and, of course, Hillary Rodham Clinton. And so the film 13 Hours, I think, does a really great job talking about the soldiers that were true heroes during that attack, doing everything they could when the government said, you're on your own. Basically, these soldiers were abandoned by the federal government and were just left to deal with everything else on their own. So it's a very, very powerful film. John Krasinski stars in it. So this is a movie that, again, I have seen. I think it's fantastic. So this is one that I will definitely be keeping. So thank you very much. 13 Hours has been one that I've been looking out for a while. So I'm actually glad to have that in my collection. And then the last one in this stack, there's 3 more stacks after this. And this is a movie I do own. So this will be in a giveaway. And it's one that I actually am a huge fan of as well. I think that there are 2 films that came out within the past 5 years that are within like the same category, I would argue. Like they both deal with very similar things, because they are basically biopics of various artists. But this one is the better one by far, and that is Bohemian Rhapsody, which, again, is extremely well done and much better than the other film that came out as well, the one that was dealing with Elton John. I had no desire to see that film. I saw the opening scene to it and was like, I don't want to see this movie. Bohemian Rhapsody, on the other hand, is actually a very good film. Very good film. So that one will go in the giveaway pile because I do own that. And if you are leaving comments, by the way, I will try and catch up with them when I can, but I do want to try and get through all of these in a timely manner. And so I have the live chats up. Let's see. Daniel Thorne says, today looks to be a party day. Arsenal beating Chelsea to win the cup. Lots of bad people about it. Means very little to me. I don't really care for European stuff. Onemo, does the Fanatic have commentary? I'm not sure, to be perfectly honest, but you know what? It would not surprise me if it did. All right. Next stack of films from, let's see, Tina B. I tries to watch Elton John movie and I couldn't get into it. So painful on every level. Yeah, I also had just had no interest in it. It seemed like it had more of an agenda than it did trying to tell his life story versus Bohemian Rhapsody, which had no agenda. Like, they could have done a lot of things with his sexuality, and they didn't. And I'm glad they didn't, because it focused on other things that were much more important to him and much more important to his personality, I would say, in life as an artist. All right, so here's the next stack from Bruce. So here's one that I've actually been wanting to see for a very long time. It's one I missed in theaters the first time, so this is one that I'm definitely glad now to own. And it is a documentary that is directed and produced by Peter Jackson. They Shall Not Grow Old. So They Shall Not Grow Old. And this is one where basically he takes footage from, was it World War II, I believe? No, from the First World War. So it's marking the centenary of the First World War. Internationally renowned Peter Jackson uses the voices of the veterans combined with original archival footage to bring to life the reality of war. Basically what he does is he takes footage. So again, things that would have been shot on 8mm, 16mm, 35mm film. And he not only, gets 4K scans of that, so gets very high quality scans of it. He then also changes the speed, and so he makes it look like basically it could have been shot somewhat recently. So it's actually and he colorizes it, I believe, at some points too. So it's kind of amazing just to see, World War I people, soldiers looking as if they could have existed, in today's world, right? Just with the way they put it together. So this is actually one I've been wanting to watch for a long time. So thank you, Bruce, for that one. That's going to definitely be in the stay pile for me. Another film that I can't remember if I ever saw this in theaters or not. I honestly cannot remember if I've seen this in theaters or not. But it does seem to have enough to where at the very least I will probably hold on to this one to watch it. And it's Gerard Butler starring in Gamer. Unleash Him is the tagline for that. Unleash Him. So Gamer with Gerard Butler. 2-disc special edition with digital copy. So thank you for that one. Have not seen that one yet, I don't think. So that one I will keep. Also, I love how a lot of these also have the slipcovers on there, and I'm actually a big proponent of the slipcovers. I like having those. Here's another one. So this is one that I skipped, and I skipped it because the trailers just looked terrible. The CGI looked god awful, and the whole marketing campaign for it was, this is from the filmmakers that brought you The Lord of the Rings and also The Hobbit, but wasn't actually. Like, I don't think it was even I don't even think it was directed by him. I think it was just produced by Peter Jackson, and that is Mortal Engines, where you have cities that are moving around. Interesting concept. I had no interest in it, but again, it's a film that now I own, now I have. Thank you, Bruce. So it's one that I'm at the very least willing to check out. So thank you very much for that, Mortal Engines. So it'll be interesting to see if that film turns out to be as good or bad as I thought. Bruce has some throw up ones there. So it sounds like he wasn't a big fan of it. People are saying it was trash. It was awful, says Andrew Hoyle. Aiden Vickery is a member. Yes, Peter Jackson just produced it. Sounds about right. Adam says Mortal Engine watch party. Yeah, sure. Sure, bud. I don't know about that one. All right. The next movie in the stack we have here. This is a film I've never heard of, actually, but it has a fantastic cast. So the cast is Noomi Rapace. She was the original girl with the dragon tattoo and was later in, she was in an Alien film. Wasn't Alien. It was Prometheus. She was in Prometheus. Very good actress. Very, very talented actress. So interesting to see her, it looks like, in a lead role. Orlando Bloom, John Malkovich, and Michael Douglas. So a rock star cast here. But then you see from the producer of Salt and Red. Red was funny. Salt, not so much. And it's a film called Unlocked. Unlocked. So again, a film I've actually never even heard of. It's very rare that I've never even heard of a movie. So Unlocked. The truth has many enemies is the tagline on this one. So that should be fun. But again, with a great cast, I can't imagine it's that terrible. I liked Prometheus, waiting for Nerdrotic. I see, Laura, you putting shade over there. How dare you? How dare you, Laura, say that about Prometheus? Prometheus is actually, I think, an underrated film. It's a film that you need to watch like a couple times, I think. Orange Hat says her last name is pronounced Rapace. Rapace, interesting. Aiden Vickery, Orlando Bloom was perfectly cast as the wardrobe in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Wait, what? What? I don't even know what that means. All right, anyway. All right. 2 more stacks to go. So, this one looks like it might have some keepers. There's definitely some films in here that I've never seen. So it'll be interesting and fun to have and to actually digitize these as well. All right, so now I can put those on the ground because River shouldn't be interested in that. All right, so the first film is actually a sequel. And I believe we watched the original film, the first film in this, during one of our Asgardian movie mornings last year. I forgot we had watched it, but everyone was like, no, Odin, we watched it. And I found the link to it. I was like, I honestly can't remember. But anyway, the original, of course, being Escape from New York. This is Escape from L.A., which I hear is just not as good, but still entertaining, just in a different way. Tagline, Snake is back. John Carpenter's Escape from L.A. by, again, John Carpenter. This is also the one where people thought that a director recently, the last 5 years, like stole something from it or stole a plot point from it or something. Bruce says god awful. But anyway, I'll be willing to give that one a shot. So again, Escape from L.A. is now on the list. This is a movie that I actually enjoyed more than I thought I would. It's a movie that I shouldn't have. I really should not have enjoyed. It should have been terrible. It was, again, by that, do I mean it's a good movie? No. But it's one that I should have probably hated. But it's one that I actually found myself laughing at because Jason Statham is just freaking hilarious. And it's a movie that I don't own, but I've been wanting to wait until it was available for $5 on. And that is a movie called The Meg. That's right. The Meg. Oh, it's a megalodon. Oh, I'm going to punch it in the face. That's basically the movie. And it's fantastic for that reason. But also starring Ruby Rose, who used to be Batwoman until she quit. Keegan Rogers, Escape from L.A. has a memorable basketball scene. Aiden Vickery, Escape from L.A. rates just above The Crow 2 as the worst sequel. A great film. Never seen The Crow or The Crow 2. Nathan Slay, have you seen Escape from New York? Again, Nathan, I don't know if you were listening. I've already addressed that, so I'm just gonna leave it like that. All right. Anyway, The Meg. Boom. It's there. All right. The next one we have here is. It's one that I saw the reviews for it, and I said, I think I can skip this one. Starring Michael Fassbender and Marion Cotillard, and it is a film called Assassin's Creed. It's one that I've actually heard mostly bad things, but I've also heard some mixed things. There's some people that don't hate it, but there's also a lot of people that are, kind of mixed on it. So anyway, the Blu-ray edition of Assassin's Creed. Another video game adaptation that does a lot of interesting things. So anyway, it's a film that I do not have. So thank you very much for sending that my way. Let's see. Daniel Thorne over on DLive says 1.3 million people came out in peaceful protest against zombie virus restrictions. All right, that's not Daniel Thorne. Nothing to do with what we're talking about, man. Not the time for it. Not the time. Daniel Thorne, surprise! Deep Blue C3 is getting better. Peabody, Jaws reference, we're going to need a bigger shelf. Yes, I've been needing a bigger shelf for a while. Jay Stowe, where is Sharknado? I don't have it. So Bruce says, I didn't hate it. Yeah, so Bruce didn't hate Assassin's Creed. Doesn't mean that he loved it. So Orange Eye Review says he just watched it today. So sounds very interesting. This is the one where I've never seen it before in my life. I don't know if it's one that I even really want to see. I know that there's the controversy around it because it is an NC-17 film, of which I don't own any for very obvious readings, rather for very obvious reasons. And this stars a woman that at one time was an innocent high school girl on a TV show called Saved by the Bell, and that is Showgirls. I've never seen Showgirls. I want to say people say this is a bad film. It's this and Striptease. I feel like those two are oftentimes put into the same category. I don't know what category this one's in. So this one I will probably give away Paul Verhoeven. But yeah. Bruce. Disappointed. He says it's bad but sexy. Okay, well then that tells me all I need to know, that I don't need to watch it. Venom Bluray says it's a very bad movie. That's all I need to hear. Kigo Rogers, have you seen Carnosaur? It must be for bad love. No. SMB says Jessie shows her parts. Tina, oh no, not Showgirls. That's one of the worst films all time. It's dreadful and so much. Again, bad movie with a lot of nudity. That what would make you think that that would be a movie that I would have any interest in either watching or even giving away? Like, I feel like it would actually be more appropriate for me to burn that film, to be honest. All right, here's a film. So this is the last film in this stack, and then we have one more stack to go. This is a movie that luckily is not like that one. It's also a film that I have never seen. And it is a film starring Mark Wahlberg called Mile 22 from the director of Lone Survivor. I remember enjoying Lone Survivor. Again, I remember enjoying Lone Survivor. So I've never seen Mile 22. I do like me some Mark Wahlberg. So this is one that I'm definitely interested in watching. So, yeah, Mile 22. All right, and we have now the last stack. Now the last stack of things. By the way, thank you all, everyone, for being very patient with me. Andrew Hoyle says, burn the witch, burn him. I know, I very well might need to declare Bruce excommunicado after that recommendation. How dare you? How dare you? Now you're making me feel even more like Greta. How dare you? All right. Ooh, this actually has me kind of... Ooh, okay. So there's actually a lot of things going on with this stack. So the first one, so this is the last stack of films from Bruce. This is George A. Romero's The Crazies. Now, I've actually talked about The Crazies a couple times on my channel. One, I've only ever seen the remake of this movie, and I thoroughly enjoy the remake. The one that came out, 2009 or so? But I've never seen George Romero's version of it either, and I've heard pretty good things about it. Also, if you are a member on Patreon Subscribestar, there was a bonus podcast. I put a clip of it on the main channel where I actually talked to a former student who did an AP paper about films from the 70s era, from the Vietnam era, comparing them to their remakes in the post 9/11 era. And this is one of the films that was talked about. And so I'm actually interested to watch this one. So I'm actually very excited for this one. Bruce says, I didn't even know I put that one in there, talking about Showgirls. Yeah, sure. Laura Toad says, worth it just for the live stream. Well, thank you. Kiga Rogers, how about Pre-Stereo 93? What? What does that have to do with any of these things? Waver and Adrotic, Ryan stole my favorite story and final scene from Escape from LA. Yes, that's right. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. And at least it wasn't pirates. This is also true. But anyway, the Crazies, original Crazies, but also it's the Arrow Video release. And if you don't know, I oftentimes get a lot of films from Arrow Video. I have a stack of them over here. I still need to do my updated Arrow Video collection release because I've been given so many. from them and from MBD Visual, so that should be coming soon. But as you all know, it's been very hard for me to find motivation to get to the computer and record that kind of stuff. But this is I'm actually really excited about this one after the conversation I had with one of my former students, because to be able to watch this one and compare it to the newer one, So boom, The Crazies, the original from George A. Romero. The next movie is a movie that I definitely will be giving away because I actually own it already, and it's because of my affiliation with MVD Visual. They actually sent this one to me already, and it's a movie called In the Aftermath. And this is it was a film that was pretty interesting. It's definitely kind of weird, a little wonky, and it is definitely one that is not. It's not a normal film, is the best way I can describe that. So this is a film that I would definitely be willing to give away, though, because for those that kind of like those more weird, quirky, art housey type films, then it might be one that you would overall enjoy. But anyway, In the Aftermath. So that's one that I actually do currently own as a part of my association with them. Let's see. Bruce says the newer one has to be better. Of the Crazies, I heard the original Crazies was pretty good. That's just what I heard. I don't know. I like the remake pretty fine for the most part. All right, the next one we have here is a film that, funny enough, I just recently picked this one up on sale, and I can't remember if I picked it up. Yeah, I got this one while I was doing the family video with John Flickinger, because this one was on sale. So this is one that I'll definitely be giving away, and this is the remake of Tomb Raider with Alicia Vikander. It's the one that I need to watch again because I fell asleep the first time I watched it because it was a later premiere. It was like a 10 o'clock showing, and sometimes even if a movie isn't bad, I can sometimes fall asleep in things like that. But this is one that I'll definitely be giving away because it is one that I do already own. However, I don't know if my version has the slipcover or not. And if it doesn't, then I'll be taking the slipcover. So Tomb Raider, Alicia Vikander. I've heard most people say, hey, yeah, it's a fun action film. Most people have been saying it's a fun action film. So Laura says, I saw the remake of Tomb Raider. It didn't suck. Boom. There you go. All right, and then the last two Blu-rays from Bruce. We have one here, a film starring Gerard Butler and Gary Oldman. Movie I've never seen before, so definitely one that I'll be keeping to watch, and it is called Hunter Killer. So a movie called Hunter Killer, and I believe this is a sub-film. Oh, Lord, is that Common? I can't stand Common. Is that him? Looks like him. But anyway, deep under the Arctic Ocean, American submarine captain Joe Glass is on the hunt for a U.S. sub in distress when he uncovers a secret Russian coup threatening to dismantle the world order. With crew and country in the line, Captain Glass must now assemble an elite group of Navy SEALs to rescue kidnapped Russian presidents, sneak through enemy water to stop World War III from happening. All right. Again, Gary Oldman, Gerard Butler. Sounds like it would be a fun action flick. It's one that I missed in theaters. So add that to the keep pile. That's definitely for sure. Captain Darkstar 57 over on D-Life says that wasn't a bad flick. Talking there about Hunter Killer. I'm very glad to hear that is the case. And the last movie I have is a movie that I've seen. I want to say I owned it at some point, but it may have been on DVD, and I think I gave away all my DVDs because I was planning on upgrading to this on Blu-ray at some point. So this will either be one I keep or it'll be one that I give away. And it is a film that I'm actually a big fan of. It's one of these like cult classic type films where it's got a very strong fan base to it. It is a musical, but it's also just very different in a lot of ways as well. And so this is Repo, the Genetic Opera. So Repo, the Genetic Opera. Great cast stash. You got Alexa Vega in here, grown-up Alexa Vega. Anthony Stewart Head. Any fans of Buffy will remember Anthony Stewart Head. Sarah Brightman, who's got a great voice. It does have Paris Hilton in it. However, she plays a role that suits her very, very well. And I think that makes it worth it. Someone named Ogre, Terrence Zundich, with Bill Moseley and Paul Sorvino. So these are from the producers of the Saw films, a film by Darren Lynn Bousman, who I think is also, he's in the movie as well. But Repo the Genetic Opera is a film that I actually enjoy a lot because it has a great soundtrack that I actually really enjoy. So I'll put this in the keep pile because I don't remember if I actually have this one on Blu-ray or if this was one of the DVDs that I gave away before I was moving up. And boom, that is, I believe, unless he has like a hidden thing in there. But anyway, Bruce, thank you very much for the 4-pound package of films. I got a ton of films to watch, a ton of films to possibly give away as well. So thank you very much for that. And before getting back into the full chat, so again, shout out Bruce, shout out Peabody. Thank y'all so very much for everything. Also, whoever sent me Tora, thank you for that as well. Yeah, Tina, that's definitely one where it's gonna be like, hey, let's just keep that over here out of the way. But anyway, before getting into the chat, just for some general discussions, for a little bit before, obviously we've been going for almost an hour now. But I did want to give an update on some movies that I've gotten recently, both purchased and also been sent my way. So first one that was sent my way. So as I've mentioned earlier, I have a relationship where I'm sent a lot of Arrow Video and MVD visual releases. And today I got one film that was put into my P.O. box, and it is Sukiyaki Western, starring Hideaki Ito, Yusuke Isaya, Kaori Momoi, and Quentin Tarantino. An epic tale of blood and greed, a film called Django. So not Django Unchained, but Django. And so here, famed Japanese auteur Takashi Miike, best known for cult classics Audition, Ichi the Killer, and The City of Lost Souls, redefines the spaghetti western with this western Django, an epic tale of blood, lust, and greed. Two clans battle for legendary hidden treasure. But so the fact that Quentin Tarantino actually starred in this film, and I want to say there is some connection here between this and Django Unchained, because obviously the name Django, etc. But anyway, so this was sent to me by NVD Visual. Shout out to them for sending that my way. And again, I'll be doing a full review of all the things that have been sent my way through Arrow Video and also through NVD Visual as well. 13th Warrior, thank you for the $5 donation via Streamlabs. Thank you. Thank you for that direct donation. I appreciate that. Daniel Thorne over on D-Live, thank you for the ice cream. Captain Dean Heist, thank you for the 5 ice cream. And Captain Darkstar 57, thank you for the 4 ice cream as well. A lot of ice cream donations over there. I appreciate it. I appreciate it very, very much. And also, I will be trying to catch up with in the chats as much as I possibly can once I'm done. But some other films, if you've been following me on social media, you know that I picked this one up, but I just have to share this one. This one I was able to pick up on Blu-ray Steelbook, Train to Busan, South Korean zombie horror flick. That's also just a damn good movie. The more I think of this film, the more I like it. So I had to get this one on Blu-ray, and I especially had to get this one because the Steelbook, look at that Steelbook cover. Bad freaking ass, man. So Train to Busan, a film I highly recommend. It is South Korean, but it's very, very good. So that's one. All right, so some other things that I've picked up. So as you all know, every year, Criterion Collection movies go on sale for half off. I still think most of them are vastly overpriced, but there were some this year that people were saying you should probably get this one because it should be either preserved or because it's something that you really should own. And so luckily, because of the generosity of Patreon Subscribe Star members, I have the ability to sometimes make these purchases. And so starting off here with the Criterion Collection, I have picked up the Samurai Trilogy. So this is actually not Akira Kurosawa. Not Akira Kurosawa. This instead is Hiroshi Inagaki. But anyway, I've heard great things about this trilogy, this set right here. This was probably the best deal because you get 3 movies for it. So again, Samurai Trilogy there from Criterion. Also, these next 2 were recommendations by Tina. So I checked with Tina to say, hey, These films are ones that I feel like I should own and should see because I've never seen them before, but also they probably should be preserved in the server as well. And so the first one is the movie version of In the Heat of the Night with Sidney Poitier. So Sidney Poitier there, so Criterion Collection version of that. I'm also working currently on trying to get the TV version. A lot harder to get that one, a lot easier to get this one. So In the Heat of the Night. So that was one that Tina recommended. And then the other one was the movie Showboat, which is a film that I've also never seen either. So Showboat also has come in as well by the recommendation of Tina. And this is probably more so than any of them, a film that, even though it's a Criterion Collection release, I would say in the current age of cancel culture, likely it is going to find some problems because of some of the characterizations that are in the movie. I haven't seen the whole thing, but I've seen clips of it, and we know Hollywood nowadays, right? So that's, definitely going to be one. Showboat. Tina says, Showboat with Paul Robinson singing Old Man River deals with racial issues. Yeah, that is for damn sure. And then I just got two more things to show. So the first one's actually really cool. So these are both films by Akira Kurosawa, two samurai films by him, and it came in a double pack, and that is Yojimbo and Sanjuro. Yojimbo and Sanjuro. So they sell these individually, but they also sell it as a package, and so this was definitely the better deal all around here. So these are also two films that I've never seen before. Akira Kurosawa has made an amazing film. The only film that I've seen from him, actually, was Seven Samurai, which is just phenomenal. And so everyone's like, oh my gosh, if you love Seven Samurai, you gotta watch this. You gotta own these films. So again, Yojimbo and Sanjuro. And I believe that for the next day or two, the sale on Criterion Collection is still going on. So if you want to pick up any of these, you can get them half off. I think they're around $20 or so for each of the releases. And then one that just came in today, and this is the last of the movies that I decided to pick up with the Criterion Collection sale. And this is one that people have said you have to watch it. Got to put it on your to-do list to watch it as soon as you possibly can, because not only is it a great film, but also because this is the film that apparently inspired Star Wars, and that is another film by Akira Kurosawa called The Hidden Fortress. So I now own also The Hidden Fortress as well. So those have been all of my pickups as of recently. So again, shout out to Mr. Peabody for the package. I'm sorry that the candy melted and got broken open, and the CD got sticky. But thank you very much again for still sending the package nonetheless. Again, I really do appreciate that, man, and it really does mean a lot. And again, also Bruce, thank you for sending me a plethora, 4 pounds worth of movies to both keep, watch, digitize, and also even give away to people on the channel as well. So thank you very much for just being awesome people. All right, so I'm now going to go back in the YouTube chat and back in the DLive chat and try and read as many comments as I can to try and make it up to everyone. So Daniel Thorne says 1.3 million people came out in peaceful protest against zombie virus restrictions in Berlin, watching the live stream but can't speak German. That's pretty damn awesome. Glad to hear that is going on. I've read that one there. Let's see. Anyone else? Daniel Thorne, latest, you stayed up watching movies at a theater. I used to see midnight showings, and there were many films I was able to stay up pretty late for. I want to say, as far as start time goes, the latest I started was probably closer to 1 o'clock. That's when I used to work at a theater, and we would get films. This is when all films were digital. And so basically, in order to show a digital film at a theater, you have to get a digital key, and the key has a time limit on it. And so that means that the key unlocks at a specific time period. And so sometimes they wouldn't unlock until 1 in the morning or so. And so there was times when we would watch films that late. So that'd probably be the latest that I can possibly think of. Again, a lot of people sending some love there. Peabody says, did you say the actual CD was damaged? Not the actual CD, it was just the case. Just the case was damaged because basically it melted onto the case. And then as I was pulling the candy off the case, it pulled the plastic off the case. So the CD, from what I can tell, is still fine. I'll have to check that at the end of the stream. Captain Darkstar 57 over on DLive says, do you have the ability to copy a VHS for the Film Preservation Project? I do not. That is something I would love to do down the line, but right now, for the foreseeable future, I'm focused on DVD and Blu-ray only. On DVD and Blu-ray only. Vonima says, is the sale of the Criterion website or on Amazon? So it's one that is, I believe it's done directly on Criterion. Barnes & Noble is the one that's the most famous for it. So you can find a lot of them on barnesandnoble.com. Amazon price matches, and so I was able to get a couple of these on Amazon for the same price that they would have been on the other sites. So it's a good question, though. Boom. And then Peabody says, okay, cool, but AHA did sing a song for you on track 12. I will do my best to listen to at least track 12. Thank you very much for that once again, Mr. Peabody, for the package. All right. Now, the YouTube, catching up on YouTube. Aiden Vickery says, the Meg is great. Put your brain in neutral stuff. Exactly, right? It's mindless entertainment. Mindless entertainment. That's what it is. Completely. All right, read that comment. Bruce then says, oh, sorry, I forgot about that one. Sure you did. Sure you did. You know that, you know I can't. Lord Toth said, naughty. Venom Broly, Showgirl, really bad movie. Let's see. Kigo Rogers says, have you seen Carnosaur 93? It's a must for bad movie lovers. No, because I'm not really a bad movie lover per se. It's got to be the right kind. Like, if it's just bad, then I might not like it. But if it's something where it's so bad it's funny, that's a very distinct line. And I think there's sometimes where there's movies that some think cross the line and others don't. So, yeah. I've not seen that one personally, though. And yeah, Tina and Steph both say, yeah, that's definitely not one to watch. Talking there about Showgirls. Yeah. No, thank you. No, thank you. All right, let's see here. Bruce says, I didn't know I put it in there. Sure. Kiga Rogers, how about Prehysteria 93? Sounds like another one of those films. Again, I'm not a bad movie buff by any means. Laura reminded me Ryan stole my fanfiction story and the final scene from Escape from LA, that's where the connection is. Bruce says, I remembered watching that one after I started to watch it. Fire Knight, that's not how you tag me on the channel, but because you were next to someone that did, says, at least it wasn't the newest version of The Hills Have Eyes. I've actually never seen either version of that, so... Andrew Hoyle says, is that the one with Timothy Olyphant? Yes, the remake of The Crazies, the newest version of The Crazies, stars Timothy Olyphant, and I actually thoroughly enjoyed that one, for sure. Jay Stowe says, nice, it's an Arrow release. Yeah, Arrow does great job. Arrow is very similar to Criterion as far as the quality of the transfers that you get. Kiko Rogers says, they are cheesy dinosaur movies. Then I probably wouldn't like it. If it's just cheesy dinosaur, probably not. Probably wouldn't be my cup of tea. All right, people saying about how the remake of Tomb Raider didn't suck. Kiga Rogers says, please tell me you've seen The Hunt for Red October. Tom Clancy had a nice run in the 90s. I've actually never seen it. Heard of it, of course. Never actually seen it. Orange Hat Reviews has to go plant some things. Okay. Zachariah315, what's going on? Howdy. Glad to see you here. Golden Rash, what's going on, man? Says howdy, good evening. Good evening to you. Glad to see you here as well. Lorto says, spaghetti westerns are awesome. Yeah, I really don't have opinions, really, because I don't think I've seen many spaghetti westerns in my lifetime. So it's really hard to say whether I have an opinion on it or not. Lorto says, yeah, I heard about Train to Busan. Heard it was good. Train to Busan is fantastic. Again, not just for zombie movie lovers. It's just a great movie, too, with fantastic character development. It's from 2016. The sequel just came out this year in Korea, and it should be coming out stateside within the next week or so. But as you know, the current state of the theaters, which we'll get into towards the end, is kind of this up in the air. kind of this up in the air type of thing. Tina B says, Mr. H Reviews did a review of the sequel trailer for the Train to Busan, and he was so excited I thought of you. Yeah, I mean, I love the world that was built in the first film, so I can only imagine how good the second one is. Waiting for Neurotic says, when I watched Train to Busan, I had to stop halfway through and take a break because my heart was pounding. I know, so yeah, I'm glad that you said that. It really is. It's just this, once things get going, it is like a train, where once the train's going, it just doesn't stop. And it's not just action, it's also emotional roller coaster as well. You don't know who's going to live and who's going to die. You make assumptions. Oh, this person can't possibly die. And then it just, again, it's interesting. Joe Dredd, what's going on? See that name in the chat. Games Repository, what's going on? See that name in the chat as well. Jay Stowe says, we'll be looking forward to your review of Django. I've seen that one, browsing a couple of sites, and I'm very curious if it's worth a pickup. I do have Django Unchained. Yeah, I mean, for those films that are sent to me by Arrow Video and by MVD Visual, they send me so many, I can't watch them for the most part. Django is one, though, where I genuinely do want to watch it because of the Tarantino connection. Whether I do a full review for it or not, I'm still unsure of, because the school year is starting, and as I said, trying to get videos out has just been kind of this dragging thing. Kika Rogers, you should watch Lilies of the Field, 1963. I don't believe I've ever seen it. I've heard of it, never actually seen it. Larry says, Tree grows in Brooklyn. Huh? Tree grows in Brooklyn. I don't know what that's a reference to. Tree grows in Brooklyn. Lorto says, Golden's alive. Tina says, I can't wait for you to see Hidden Fortress so you can tell us if you think it is Star Wars similar. Yeah, I've heard people go either way on that one. So, Nathan Slay, are you the guy that prefers Alien or Aliens? Aliens. It's an action film. I prefer action to horror. So Aliens, I think, is the superior film because it's just more entertaining. Swoozy out of California, what's going on, man? Says, I know who can be the next Superman. You, Odin. Nah. I am not in that shape, nor would I ever be willing to be in that shape either. So, Larry says, midnight for Odin? Nah, he's sleeping. It's so funny how there's this conception that I'm, this old man Odin, when it's like, for Friday Night Tights, I get off at 8 Eastern because I try and spend at least a couple hours with my wife, before going to bed. Oof, terrible me. And then my wife goes to bed early. And that's something that was even prior to pregnancy because she has issues sleeping. So, God forbid I try and be a good husband and get attacked for it. But anyways, Boo Down, California. If DC and Warner Brothers did approach you to achieve every red-blooded American's dream and play the Man of Steel, would you? Nope, I would not. I would not, because I would not want to be having my name. I would never really want to be involved in modern Hollywood. If Hollywood was different, yeah, sure. Because it could be very good for my family, could lead to, ensuring great college education, great private school education, things like that for my kids. But in modern day Hollywood, no, I wouldn't want to have any. I would have no desire. It would be kind of with politics too. No, I wouldn't want to put my family through that. Paparazzi and all that stuff, not worth it. Nathan Slay, in my opinion, I actually like DVDs more than Blu-rays because sometimes the TV is occupied and I need to watch a movie if I want to on my computer. You can probably upgrade your computer to get a Blu-ray player instead, because Blu-rays are better. I mean, this is a verifiable fact. Blu-rays are better because you get better picture quality and also more special features. Spooky California, I think you would make great Superman alongside Robert Pattinson and Batman. You make a dynamic duo in the true heart and soul of the new DCU. Why are you going, Spooky? What? I feel like the last 3 comments you've made, man, you tagged me, and it's all been about this, and I'm not quite getting it. Doesn't make sense. Superman McGamer, shameless repost. I'm good, thanks. This week I started watching Watchmen. Awesome, and saw Memento for the first time. Not usually my style, but so good. And now I'm watching John Adams. Heard good things about John Adams. I know Critical Drinker did a video about Watchmen, and he came away mostly positive in remembering the film. But I'm going to be perfectly honest here. I've not watched this video, so I could be totally wrong on this. I think the total crap fest that was the HBO show is making people look at the old school Zack Snyder film through rose-tinted glasses. I think because the show on HBO was so bad, people are giving the Zack Snyder film a pass. I have not watched the HBO series, and I still stand by the fact I don't think, because as I said, I don't think Zack Snyder has made any film that is good, that has stood the test of time. And I'd say that always to remind you, I have never seen his rendition of it's not like Night of the Living Dead, the zombie film that he did. I haven't seen that one, so can't speak to that one. But everything else he's made, I again, doesn't hold up. Sorry. Larry, newer VCRs have automatic tracking control. Again, I mentally, emotionally cannot handle VHSs right now. Sorry. Rob D, hello, Odin. I showed my sister Alita Battle Angel this week, and I think she liked it. That's good to hear. Bruce says, I couldn't get more than 30 minutes into Showgirls. Again, just bad movies that are, don't know why. 70B, did you get new clothes for school? Nah. Got a couple of new masks, though, because we're being required to wear them for school, and I kind of have to enforce that, so... luckily, no, don't really have to, because we're actually not having to dress up as much, because we don't have to wear ties, because ties are an extra piece of clothing, which means it's an extra thing that, bacteria and viruses can hold on to. So, hey, I'm fine with it. It means I can probably wear polos every day, which is much more comfortable. So, Alex McCarthy as a member says, howdy, Odin, how's it going? I, as late, was watching Masters of the Universe. It's cheesy. Nathan Slay, have you seen Deep Blue Sea? I hear it's a great Taco Bell movie. Never seen Deep Blue Sea. Bruce, as a member, says, Context the Crazies. Remembered I saw it when I started to watch that copy. What? Remembered I saw it when I started to watch that copy. Oh, that you had seen the film before, and that's why you sent it. Got it. Larry is a member. Fathom with Raquel Welch may be considered good, bad. Never heard of it before, so... Fire Knight 013. Sorry about the tag, no problem. Didn't know until after I hit that one. Don't watch Hills Have Eyes. Newest version's horrible, as Gary would say. Drape scene. Ooh, yes. I think I've heard about that one. Yes. In my discussion on the podcast I did on 70s films versus their remakes, in the context, I think that came up at one point. Larry says, Odin and Valks. Omega, Jeremy, Phantom Menace, Megazord, Mode Red. Dear Lord, that's quite a mouthful. Hail, High Father, Odin. It's all Father, not High Father. I am Omega, Jeremy, Phantom Menace, Megazord, Mode Red. I'm here to help the Phantom Menace fight 50-foot SJWs. Don't ask about Mode Blue. Okay, sure. Orange Hat, who's a member. I'm back, but I'm still warm, so we will wait till tomorrow to plant. Didn't know you were a gardener. Aiden Vickery is a member. There is an animated prequel to Train Busan. Yep, that's been mentioned on the channel before. Still need to find a way to get access to it. Iron Vet, what's going on? I saw your name being mentioned as the chat has jumped on me like it normally does. Let us see here. Let's see. Let me catch up on D-Lav real quick. Peabody says, okay, cool, but Aha did sing song track for you. Jack 11. I'm sure based on the rate things have been going, I wouldn't be surprised if a bunch of people have been banned on D-Live. 60 people. Whenever I see 16 people watching on D-Live, I'm like, all right, most of those are probably trolls. Camden High says, have you seen the Hulu original film Palm Springs? Kind of Groundhog Day-ish. I enjoyed it. I have not, but my wife enjoys the casting of that, and she's also a big fan of Lonely Island, so it's a film that I think we will watch together at some point. Glad to hear that you enjoyed it, though. Daniel Thorne, Sean Connery has a beard. You have a beard. Beards gotta stick together. Get out there and watch The Hunt for Red October. Okay. Peabody should wear your mask with the Zoolander headband. Hell no. There's no way I could get away with that at school. I can't pull off that look. Are you kidding me? I can't pull off that look. Slash Neons, who tagged me. I mentioned to fellow YouTuber Leftfoot Media during his stream with John Talks that a collab stream about movies with you two would be awesome. Reach out and say hi. If they reach out to me, then I would be willing to work with it. At this point, though, in my life, with school starting and everything, because again, as I've mentioned previously, the reason why I have not been uploading daily videos is because I just haven't had the willpower to do so. Because I'm dealing just with a lot of random spouts of anxiety, because this school year is going to be very different than any other school year, because we're being asked to do a lot more stuff, and I can only imagine what the students are going to be like, having to deal with it, one-way hallways, all having to wear masks. It's just gonna be too much, man. So I'm not in really the mindset to do anything that takes effort at this point. Not to sound lazy, but it really is, because I'm mentally overworked right now. It's a miracle that I was even able to get on this one. Larry, it's movie Odin G's. Well, sorry, not sorry. Here, Rogers, it's game over, man. Game over. Tina says, thank you, Tina, for being polite about it, unlike some people. Larry, who's always posting random comments out of context. Start skipping those. Tina B says, A Tree Grows in Brooklyn is a movie from the 40s or 50s, also a novel. Never read or saw it as a movie. It's about life in, well, Brooklyn and growing up there. What's relevancy does that have to anything that we were talking about, though? So Larry says, movie blog, fraud. Member, fraud. That's what I would say. Nathan Slay, the MCU ended with Thanos doing this, the smile. Super says, A Tree Grows in Brooklyn is, okay, that's another explanation. I don't need double explanations. As Tina then says, yeah. Spooky California, don't be so modest. You would make a great soups. You might need to brush up Clark Kent, though. Nah. Waiting for Nerdrotic. Started watching The Boys mainly because I love Carl Urban. Very adult but excellent so far. Yeah, I tried watching it, and I couldn't get past the Me Too stuff. Because there's very obvious Me Too stuff in the very beginning with the introduction of the new character, and I was just like, Larry says, Blu-rays are better if mastered correctly. Well, even if they're not mastered correctly, the Blu-ray is going to be objectively better on certain levels. Nathan Slay, to me, comparing the Terminator to Terminator 2 is comparing apples and oranges. They're very different films. But I find T2 more entertaining. Super says, oh no, I meant reading Watchmen much better. Oh yes, reading Watchmen, I will agree. Yes, Watchmen graphic novel is fantastic. Yes. Games Repository says, Watchmen ruined comics and nihilism has become a superhero trope that needs to be subverted. I wouldn't say it was the graphic novel. I would say it was Hollywood's obsession with making Watchmen, with Watchmen being made by someone that should not be anywhere near comic stuff. Just going to be honest there. And then what he then, by that film, perpetuated in Hollywood. Bruce says, time to rewatch Sucker Punch. That's what I say to that. Tina, Critical Drinker did a review of the Watchmen movie just the other day. No rose-colored glasses. He had issues with it and thought there were some good things about it too. Well, I'm glad to hear that. And I that does not surprise me. Critical Drinker usually has great takes. But based on the comment that I was assuming, again, I was making an assumption that they were watching it, and I assumed it was because of that. So glad I was wrong. Critical, and even if I was right, Critical is still a good guy. Good channel. Because there are a lot of problems with it. Smooth Jam, just messing with you, man. In all seriousness, if JJ the Destroyer ended up directing the next Superman film, I don't think anyone would want to be a part of it. Yeah, especially this guy. Lorto says, Ty can be a good weapon. Yes, it can be. You are right about that. This is true. Giga Rogers, have you seen Be Kind Rewind? I've heard of it. Never actually seen it myself. I believe that doesn't that star Jack Black? I believe it does. Orange Review says, I'm not a gardener, I'm a handyman, but the landlady had me playing gardener. Ah, yes, of course. Lord Toad, still treasure my Sean Connery Goldfinger signed white dinner jacket photo. Scottish. Ooh, that does sound fancy. Tina, thank you for letting me know how to contact me. Omega Jeremy, I just can't say the rest of it. Would you ever get Jeff from World Class on a live stream with you to talk movies? I would never be against it. Here's the thing is that I tend not to host a lot of people on my channel. And the reason why is because I can't control them. And I know that sounds weird, but I try and keep the channel PG, right? And I don't like limiting what people can say. And so the reason why I tend not to invite people on is because I don't want to have to tell people, hey, watch your mouth, right? I have the monthly Chosen stream, right? The Chosen of Valhalla stream. And everyone there, though, you know, are already a part of the community, are here almost every single week, and are already respectful and are already awesome people. So it's something that I don't have to worry about nearly as much. And again, I'm not throwing shade at any person in particular, but that's the reason why I don't tend to invite people onto my channel for collaborations, at least for anything live, pre-recorded, you know. But Jeff from World Class, he's a busy guy, you know, and he's you know, again, if anyone reaches out to me, I'm willing to talk. But I'm right now at this point in my life, and I think I've mentioned this second time, so hopefully I don't have to say it a third time. I'm not at the point in my life now where I'm going to be reaching out to people to try and get things going. Just going to be honest. Larry, a kid Odin, hard to convey in the chats. Super Anime Gamer, quick semi-random question. Do you own Hunchback of Notre Dame or Prince of Egypt? I do own Prince of Egypt. I think that one I have on DVD. And Hunchback, I don't know if I own that on Blu-ray. The Disney ones are hard, as you all know, because, you know, I hate Disney, and their Blu-rays for a long time, you know, in the vault, out the vault, etc. And plus, the only versions of Hunchback that I've ever found are the double pack that come with the second movie, which I don't want. So I think because of that, I don't have that. But yeah, Super. The tree grows in Brooklyn. Context early in the stream, somebody mentioned it and you didn't know what it was, and we explained it. I know Super, but two people explain. It's just sometimes when I don't know something, people multiple people answer. And it just gets it's tedious on the mind. That's especially as you know, messed up as mine when I'm reading the same thing twice. So again, it's not an attack, right? It's not a criticism. It's just that when I start to read it, I'm like, oh, this is the same information again. It's just just watch what the people say in the chat. Nathan Slay, is there a single Michael Bay movie, a single good Michael Bay movie in the world? I've heard people say The Rock. I've actually no, I take that back. I have seen The Rock. I don't remember seeing The Rock though, so I think that speaks volumes. But The Island is a great Michael Bay film. I do love The Island. JB, can you do your Cockney accent again, please? Hello. I found a ruby the size of a tangerine. That's all I got right now. That's literally all I can give right now. Slice of Neons. Funny you say that, since 300 was a comic by Frank Miller before the Snyder film Valk's drool over. Yeah, and you know, 300 by itself might be a great comic. I've never read the comic before, but the movie was great. You know, obviously the Valk's drool over it because of all the muscles, but overall just hasn't aged well. Omega Jeremy says, did you know Disney once owned Power Rangers but failed the franchise and was forced to sell back to Hiam Saban? The creator of Star Wars might end up in the same way if we're lucky. I say the difference is that Power Rangers is far less valuable of a franchise than Star Wars. Even though they've run Star Wars into the ground, Star Wars is still very valuable. Like, they would still be able to sell it for much more than what they got it for. So, yeah. Super. Watchmen ruined comics, but it wasn't Alan's fault. The industry turned his one off into a standard, and his clones were nowhere near as good as he is. And I wouldn't know that about the comics because obviously, you know, I'm not a comics person. So, all right, over to the D Live to catch up with them. Phonemo says that scene was in the comics context. Adam, Jeff is PC, and you two doing a wrestling stream would be epic. Will Gentry, you're lucky I'm not one of the chosen then. You'd be demonetized in a second. I'd probably just kick you out if that was the case. Adam says, thank you for putting up with us while stranding your time with us. No, thank you, Adam, for always keeping it real and for always being very supportive. I appreciate it. Jens Jurgensen, what's going on, good sir? Thank you for the, I don't even know what currency, super chat. I think it's the equivalent of around $20 super chat. Thank you so much, Jens Jurgensen. He says, breakfast tomorrow is on me. Well, thank you, man. And I hate to always say this because it comes off as salty, and it's not meant to be salty, and it's not meant to be an attack. But just behind the curtain kind of stuff. Remember, everyone, super chats. If you want to super chat, please feel free to do so to support the channel. But YouTube takes 30% of every super chat that you give. So always keep that in account. 30% of this is not going to the creator. And then also, it doesn't go to the creator until the end of the next month. So I wish it could buy me breakfast tomorrow, but it can't. Because I'm not going to have it till the end of... since it's August 1st, I'm not going to have that until the end of September. So it can buy me a breakfast in September one day. If you do want to have something closer to it, though, Streamlabs donations are very much appreciated and preferred. But Jen, seriously though, again, and anyone that does do the super chat instead, I know that it's more comfortable. I know that it's easier to do. I know it's more convenient. So still, anyone that does donate via super chat, thank you very much. It really does mean a lot. And don't make what I say, like, when I go off on that rant, make it seem like I'm not appreciative. I really am, because it is still your hard-earned money. But I think it's important that I'm transparent about where that money goes and how that money works and why YouTube is such a broken system. Because YouTube is terrible to content creators. Completely terrible. Let's see. Captain Dean High says the Valk's like 300 for the muscles. That's so toxic. I know, right? So toxic. But thank you, Jens Jurgensen. I appreciate it. Mega Jeremy says, if it makes it easier, you can refer to me as Phantom Menace Megazord. Less words. Don't ask about Mode Blue. I don't know about Mode Blue, but Omega Jeremy, because those are the first two names that pop up when I see it. So I will go with the easier one on my mind, because I'm just all over the place. 73 people watching. Please smash the like button. Robert Frey, Blake St. Clair. I don't know if I shouted you all out yet. Hound 3000. I've seen that you've been in the chat. Geek Tropology. What's going on? Dark Shadow Logan. What's going on? Glad to see you here. Waiting for Nadrotic Laura says, funny, I just watched Prince of Egypt. What a beautiful movie and score. Prince of Egypt is fantastic. Even if you're not a religious person, I recommend it. It has one of the best scores. Seriously, one of the best scores. It's one where when I was teaching my freshmen, we would watch Prince of Egypt because part of the freshman curriculum, and this is back when I first started teaching, was Old Testament. And so one of the projects that I had them work on was we would watch Prince of Egypt. We would then read the account in Exodus, and then they had to write a paper and compare and contrast the two, because there's some similarities, there's some differences. But man, that film's good. Stephanie B says, no worries, you got this. Thank you, Stephanie B, and thank you for the Valks for supporting me in there. Andrew Hoyle, as a member, says, as an Englishman, your Dick Van Dyke Cockney accent is on point. Well, that's appreciative. That means it sucks. But I'm glad that you put it in a very polite fashion. Hello, Cobber. How's it going, bud? All right, let us see here. Jen Jurgensen says, $45, give or take. Jen Jurgensen says, I know. Oh, again, I'm glad you know. Yeah, again, I don't know what it is. I just know that orange, I want to say normally is, I want to say maybe orange is 50. Because green is 5, blue is 2, yellow is 10, and then 20 is... I forget, but either way, whatever it is, Jens, thank you. Seriously, though, that's a very generous super chat, and I just want you to know that. You're extremely kind and extremely generous, and I really do appreciate the sentiment. Please don't let and you know this. I'm the critic who's a cynic. Please don't mind my cynicism. Trust me, no. I've been much more salty recently. And that's just because there's just a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that some of y'all are aware of. And I think I've made clear a couple of times on this. And then it's like, have you seen Con Air or Face Off? Con Air, yes. Con Air is fantastic. Con Air is life. Con Air is love. Put the bunny down. And I saw Face Off for the first time in my life with my wife. She was not a fan of it. I thought it was pretty great. And that was about 2 or 3 weeks ago. So yes, I've seen both. Broken Arrow as well. I saw about a month and a half ago on my own. So that was pretty fun. All right, looks like I'm caught up with the YouTube chat, which is good because we're right at time. So let me just see. Will Gentry says orange is 20, purple is 50, and red is 100. Yeah, so it's like I think it rounds it, etc. It's this again. YouTube sucks, man. Like seriously, and as I said, like if I could find a way to get my entire audience to very easily transfer to a different streaming service that was better to creators, I would do it in a heartbeat. But I know that y'all are dealing with a lot too, right? You know, I deal with stuff. Y'all deal with stuff. Some of y'all are dealing with much worse stuff than I am right now. Some of y'all are dealing with much more stressful things than I am right now. Some of y'all are dealing with just crazy life things, right? 100 is red. And so I just have to say right out, thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for being supportive. Thank you for being awesome. And I will end just with one quick note because it is in the title. There was a recent deal with AMC and Universal. So just a couple things. One, to clarify, the deal was only between AMC Theaters and Universal Studios. So that's the only parties involved. The deal stipulates that any Universal movie or films that are owned by Universal that gets released in movie theaters at AMC Theaters will be eligible to get a video on demand release 3 weeks after initial release, 17 days, which is the fastest ever in history. And that AMC apparently will be getting a cut of the PVOD money that Universal is going to be getting. And many speculate that it's around 10% or so. So many believe it's around 10% or so that's going to happen. So that's what's going on. Someone that I respect, Tom from Midnight's Edge and Midnight's Edge After Dark, he says it's a good thing. He says it's going to save theaters. I beg to differ because I think because this is only AMC and only Universal, not every studio seems to be on board with this. Some have been openly critical. Not every major theater chain either seem to be on board with this. I honestly, at this point, think movie theaters are in the death knells, right? I think that they're reaching their end point because they've not been open now for several months. It's going to be very hard for them to recoup their investments. People are not going to be coming back in droves. Some states are still shut down. It's going to be mad chaos. The box office, as we know it, is essentially done. And it's going to be crazy. So I just want to make a quick note about the AMC Universal deal. Just to clarify, the deal is just between AMC Theaters and Universal. No other studio is involved with it. No other theater chain is involved with it. But some speculate others will follow suit. But as with all things, they're going to wait and see whether or not it's successful and whether or not it works, which we won't know until AMC can actually finally reopen. So, Daniel Thorne, thank you for the ice cream donation, man. Daniel Thorne, happy August. We made it to a brand new month. We did, but it's going to be a hellacious month for me because of school and everything. But seriously, everyone on YouTube, everyone D-Live, thank y'all for being here. That is going to be it for me this evening, though. So before I go, I do need to shout out my YouTube members who are at the $5 and up tier. So anyone that is at the Army of Asgard or Keeper of the Bifrost level gets a shout out at the end of every stream. So Eric K, Orange at Reviews, Bruce, Adam Avery, Latino Slant, Larry, the Bosco 2000, Twirly Wolf, J Stowe, Aiden Vickery. Thank you so very much for being members on the YouTube channel. You guys are freaking awesome people. And also, Patreon, as you all know, maybe, is currently going through a suit where they lost, I believe, and they're going to have to pay out a lot of money. And because of that, I can see already, Patreon apparently is already having some issues. So Patreon might be on its last legs. But I do want to make sure that on to June, who became a recent Patreon member, that you get your shout out. August shout outs, though, will go into effect once all of the charges go through, which could be delayed now because of that very fact that they are going through that lawsuit and having to pay out everything. So anyway, I just wanted to get that out there. So on to June, shout you out. So today at the end, you will see the July shout outs. I will try and update it to the August shout outs as soon as I possibly can. And also I need to bid farewell to someone that has been a Subscribe Star member for a long time. G2 Cool 99 just left yesterday or 2 days ago, with the one reason being broke. And obviously a lot of people are in very difficult financial straits right now. So thank you very much, G2 Cool 99, for being here. Again, I hope that you're still in the chat. I hope that you still come to the streams and watch the videos, because you're always welcome to Asgard, whether you are on Patreon, Subscribe Star or not. Again, as I always say, you know, the best thing and the most valuable thing anyone can ever give is their time. So thank you so very much for everyone that has given their time, has given their attention, has just been awesome, has been amazing. Again, shout out to Bruce, shout out to Peabody for the amazing gifts. Sorry to Peabody that your gift must have been sitting out in the sun for several days in New York, which caused the melting and everything to happen. But I'm sure that I'm sure everything will be okay. But anyway, to all the other members on YouTube, to all the other members all across the world, you guys are all amazing and beautiful people. Shout out especially to the Valks, Empress of the Universe, Tina, General Valkyrie, Steph. Thank you for being here, and thank you for supporting. You guys rock. I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. Shout out to you all as Joe Biden now follows me on DLive. Get out of here before he sniffs your hair. Oh, Lord, Joe Biden's already sniffing hair over there. Anyway, you guys rock. Have a wonderful night. As always, God bless. And now a huge shout out to all of my Patreon members. Albertus Magnus, Animation Commentator, Brian P., David Bobrizik, Dion, DivX, Enrique Evangelista, Father Christopher Miller, hail to you, Father, Frank the Tank and the Shawhan Wiener Dog Clan, Harold Francis, the Honker Chonker Funky Monkey, Inflamed Wood, Intertrap Productions, Jason Clark, Jacob Juice, Jeffrey Toon, Jonathan Carney, Kenneth Camille, Lady T, Laura Story, who is the modern Major General, Mad Mitch Dunaway, Mike Jackson, Mr. Peabody and his evil twin with the beautiful hair, Orange at Reviews, Outpost Dyer, Out of Step with Reality, Riff Magos, Rosetta Ellen, Steve Glasker, Teresa Martin, Theodore Benton, Tina Bojan, The DJD Show, and Tina B. Thank you all for being my Patreon members, and a huge shout out to my Subscribe Star members, Stand For, John B., Perpetual Punster, Robert Revo, Mr. Roy, Glinzer, G2 Cool 99, Darkstar 57, Alex McCarthy, or J. Alex McCarthy Jr., US 888209 Fast, Dean Heiss, Harold Francis, J. Rod the Beer Guru, Nevadan G. Adams, and ZK Man, and Father Damian Cook. Thank you all so very much for being my Patreon and Subscribe Star members. Seriously, you are the wind beneath my wings. You help keep the lights on. You help support things like the giveaways for my $5 and up backers, and also allow me to do a lot of the extra stuff for the channel, including the exclusive OMB podcast that I do every couple of weeks with John, the Flick Pick of the Flick Pick channel. And yeah, thank you so much for your support. Don't want to really drag it out too long this month. You guys are amazing and beautiful people. If you want to have a name shout out, if you want to have access to giveaways, podcasts, any of that kind of stuff, check the links in the description for Patreon and Subscribe Star. You guys rock. Have a wonderful day. And as always, God bless.